What's going on, creators? Now, when starting your own streetwear brand, defining your brand is one of the most important things, if not the most important thing you should be focusing on when starting up your own brand. Some of the things you should ask yourself: what does your brand stand for? Who is your targeted audience? I mean, that to me is one of the most important things, finding that targeted audience. Once you find that targeted audience, you know how to address them, how to market to them, things they like, what interests them. All those things are important when starting up a brand and making sure that you get into the right people that your brand represents. Now, of course, you could build a brand up out of nowhere with a crazy weird name that nobody really knows, with a weird idea, but usually those type of brands don't last through the test of time. If you're looking for something that's gonna last within 5 to 10 years or even longer, you want to make sure that you're marketing your brand to that targeted audience and hyper focus on whatever it is they're into. So you want to define what your brand stands for, what it represents, and who it's targeting, and obviously what will set your brand apart from other streetwear brands that are out there in the market. So defining your brand is just 1 out of 10 strategies to starting a streetwear brand or a clothing line. So for number 2, develop a business plan. Now, I know probably don't want to hear this part. This part is probably going to be boring to you. You don't really want to get into all of that. You just want to get some clothes, get whatever machine you need, get started, press some shirts up, give it to some people you know, get on Instagram, post it, promote it, market it, whatever it is you need to do to start making some money and just get it out there. I understand that. But if you're looking forward to your brand going 5 to 10 years into the future, you're gonna need yourself a business plan to make sure this brand is gonna last through the test of time. Now, what you want to do is create a budget, how much money you're willing to spend and how much money you're able to spend when you're ready to get started. That's going to include what garments you're going to use, what print you're going to use, whether it's screen print, heat press, embroidery, whatever print that's out there. What print are you going to be going for? Now, marketing is also going to be attached to that budget. How much money are you willing to spend in marketing, whether it's with Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube? How much money are you going to be willing to spend within those social media platforms? Now, this is going to tie into a later strategy, but you want to write down a plan that's going to involve how many shirts you want to sell, how many pieces you plan on making, what's your timeline, what date do you plan on releasing. You want to write down the cost of each shirt, how much money you're spending on the shirts to get made, and how much you plan on selling these shirts for on a retail market. So create a business plan that outlines your brand's goals, budget, marketing strategies, and timeline. Now for number 3, research the market. Now, the dope thing about creating your own streetwear brand or clothing line, all the information that you need is at your fingertips due to social media. You can research your favorite brands when it comes to luxury brands, low-key brands, or up-and-coming brands. You can see what they're doing, who they're targeting, find out what the customers want, what are their interests, what are their likes. Ask questions like, what's your favorite brands? What style of clothes do they like? Do they like an oversized look or more of a fitted look? Do they like workwear or techwear? Try to get as much information as you can when it comes to these groups. After you find out what's missing and that space is being underserved, hyper focus on that demand. So what you want to do is study the competition, identify the gaps that are missing within that market, and determine what customers are looking for within a streetwear brand. Now for number 4, determine your brand's aesthetic. Now, what does Supreme, Bathing Ape, Anti-Social Social Club, and other streetwear brands have in common? They all have a signature piece that anyone can recognize. A Bathing Ape, Supreme box logo, Nike, check please. Every popular brand that you can name of has a specific look that their community can recognize. Like Fear God when it comes to their essential pieces, and Earth Tones when it comes to their color palette. Basically, you want to decide on your brand's overall aesthetic, including the color palette, typography, and graphic design style. Now for number 5, create a brand name and logo. Now, you want to come up with a catchy brand name that reflects your brand's values and that can last through the test of time. More often, a lot of up-and-coming brands come up with unique names that doesn't really reflect what their brand represents nor their targeted audience, which obviously will lead to confusion on where the brand is going and what the brand stands for. That one mistake can lose you an audience at the snap of a finger. Make sure to create a name that's aimed at the audience that you're targeting and design a logo that's distinct and easily recognizable. Now for number 6, source materials and manufacturers. Now, if you're like me and you like to be hands-on, you have a screen print machine, heat press machine, or direct-to-garment machine, or whatever machine that you do have, you are a step ahead of the rest. But if you aren't hands-on, there are manufacturers out there where you can get your garments made. Now, you want to find a reliable supplier and manufacturer that you trust to create your products. When you're looking for specific garments that you want to use, there's brands like Los Angeles Apparel, Shockaware, House of Bling, blinks, velour garments, just to name a few. These brands carry some of the best quality blinks that can take your streetwear brand to the next level. Now again, if you are hands-on, you can ensure that the quality of your materials and finished products are up to par. But if you have to outsource, it is important that you receive samples of the finished product to determine if you're going to continue with that manufacturer. Now for number 7, establishing an online presence. Now, quick question. How many brands do you see sponsored on your Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook feeds? These brands are utilizing social media platforms to reach a wide range of consumers. Now, this is where that budget kicks in when it comes to marketing. You may want to spend $5 a day between the platforms of Facebook and Instagram and test out the market to see where your brand stands when it comes to finding that targeted audience. You also want to redirect that audience from Facebook and Instagram to your website to create foot traffic. Make sure your website is clean and concise and represents your brand's vision. So you want to create a website, social media accounts, and email marketing campaigns to establish your brand's online presence and connect with potential customers. Now for number 8, collaborate with popular influencers. Now this strategy is being used by many popular brands out there in the market today. 2 brands collaborating to bring both audiences together. You may have 2,000 followers, they may have 10,000 followers. You bring those 2 audiences together, you create a brand new community. That brings more awareness and more success for both parties. So you want to partner with popular influencers who align with your brand's values and aesthetic to reach a wider audience. Now for number 9, host events and pop-up shops. The benefit of a pop-up gives your followers and potential customers a chance to look, touch, and feel the products that you've created. Now, if you're not able to fund your own event, there are pop-up shops where you can rent out your own section and become a vendor. Now, pop-up shop is a great strategy to create a buzz, meet new people, and network. Now for the final strategy, number 10, continuously innovate and adapt. Stay up to date in current trends and continue to evolve your brand to meet the changing demands of the market. So you want to make sure your brand evolves as time moves forward, but also keeping that same identity that helped you build the community that you have. It's important to remain faithful to that community because remember, your brand wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for the tribe that you built. Now, every year is a new trend and there's a new trend within a year. So make sure you study those trends before they happen so you could be ahead of the game when you release your first drops. Or you could set the trends. You become the standard. Be the brand that other brands want to follow and copy when it comes to your creativity. Now, I hope you all are gaining some type of value from this content, and if you are, leave a comment down below. Now, if you want to know my top picks when it comes to any blank garments, click this video right here. Or if you want to know if these t-shirts are worth it or not, click this video right here.